All right, it's Taco Tuesday. And here is the recap for today. So today I got really lucky and I had one of my money glitch trades positioned perfectly and it cashed in beautifully. And with the big move in the CPI numbers this morning or whatever that was, you can see right here this big gap up. That's a huge gap there. And look at this run we've been making all the way up. So anyway, I placed a trade yesterday that was bullish, a money glitch trade, and it just worked out perfectly with a big move today. And so I'm going to take you through it real quick. Here, let's take a look at the trade before. This is the trade as I placed it yesterday. When I put this trade on yesterday, we were trading right here, 4,413 mark. And you can see that it's a bullish trade. You can see on the downside, there's a total risk of $541. But again, in my entire portfolio, I have trades that are bearish in here. And so that $541 is not that scary. And it's also a trade that there's only a couple days in this trade. This trade expires on Friday. So if there was a down move, I had some time to get out with potentially a profit. So this is going into the close yesterday. And then we woke up to this big gap up. And about an hour or two into the market is when I started to look at taking this trade off. So here's a look at the trade as it existed before I took it off today. I took it off mid-morning. But here's a trade as it exists right now. If I had not touched it at all and I left it on up until this point, the market just closed here. So this is, you can see this showing a profit of 3,446. But again, earlier in the day, we were up about 80 points, I think, on the SPX, and I just couldn't see how much further we could go. I mean, you always can, of course, but I decided to go ahead, and the market's kind of like looked like it was starting to falter a little bit. So I just went ahead and I made an adjustment on this to lock in some of those gains and go more delta neutral. You can see we have a delta of 122 at this slope here. So around 2 hours in, I was up. It was kind of bouncing around a lot. It was between 3,000 profit and 4,000 profit. I decided to go ahead and lock it in. The SPX started to falter a little bit. So I did the first adjustment to just kind of lock in those gains. And that adjustment was this right here. You can see I just peeled off a portion of this position here, which totally brought this line onto the downside, like the guaranteed loss to the downside. Up to 4,595. So if it were to tank to zero, it would make 4,595. Or before, if you remember that, there was like a minus $500 loss. So by tweaking this, I kind of like got rid of some of the deltas and kind of flattened it out a little bit more. At the time, it looked flatter than this, but what the adjustment did is just kind of locked in the downside, took the deltas down, kind of like put the brakes on to the upside, and then I let that sit for about 30 minutes, and it was still bouncing around between 3,000 and 4,000, and I started to think, what am I doing? I should just take this thing. I mean, there's only a couple days left. I don't want to be greedy. If we look at the chart again, I mean, this is like a huge move up. I mean, how long can we sustain this? Famous last words, it'll probably keep going up. But the profit that I was showing at the time, like between 3,000 and 4,000 for a one-day profit, is really good. So I didn't want to just kind of like be an idiot and lose it if there was like a pullback or if the volatility started acting weird. So again, I locked this in, waited for about 30 minutes, and then I decided just to close the whole thing down. As I close it down, it looks like this. You can see I'm just peeling off pieces of this thing. There's another one, and then the last piece there. So we closed out for a total gain of 3,640 on this trade. So this was a great singing in the rain trade, great Taco Tuesday trade, and these don't come along very often. Luckily, I was positioned just right, and I was fresh into the trade. It was a new trade I just put on yesterday. So there was a lot of luck involved with this trade. But like my Uncle Ed used to say, I'll effing take it. So over the next couple days, I'll look at putting on a new one of these money glitch trades on for next week. If you'd like to follow along with me on these trades, just make sure that you're subscribed to my YouTube channel below. Just click that subscribe button and also join me on my website. I'll leave a link to my website in the description below. So head over to my website and join me there. And that's it for today. See you next time.
I'm singing in the rain, just singing in the rain. What a glorious feeling, I'm happy again. I'm laughing at clouds so dark up above. The sun's in my heart and I'm ready for love. Let the stormy clouds chase everyone from the place. Come on with the rain, I've a smile on my face. I'll walk down the lane with a happy refrain, just singing singing in